Hello everyone, Brickdark here. Today I'm reviewing the LEGO Star Wars Imperial Armored Marauder set, which has 4 minifigures, 478 pieces, and retails for $40 in the United States. So here we have Grief Karga, one of 2 exclusive figures to this set. This is based off of his appearance in Season 2 with his grey beard. Really like the continuous printing from the legs to the torso. He does also come with a short blaster. Very well detailed, as well as a little bit of detailing on the back. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a second face, which is a big shame because I feel like he needed a second face. There was a lot of expressiveness in his character in the second season, and I would have liked to get the one that I'm thinking of where he's screaming. But still, a very nice figure to get in a cheap set, because the only other way to get this character is in the $130 Razor Crest, so it's much nicer to get him in a much cheaper set. Here we have the figure most people are probably going to buy this set for, even though it's a good set. But anyways, the Mortar Trooper. Really like how this figure came out, and it's the first character to use that new ugly Family Guy Stormtrooper helmet, and it doesn't look terrible. And I think that's because of the amount of stuff underneath the head. So the helmet actually comes down to where it's supposed to, instead of, as you'll see with the other Stormtroopers, way further down onto the torso. So it looks really good. Also, since there isn't one with a normal helmet to compare, this one looks better, whereas you can put the 2 Stormtroopers side by side with the old helmet and the new helmet, and one clearly looks better. You can't do that with this trooper. But anyways, this is a excellent trooper. You do have this little cloth pauldron on the side. Really like all the yellow markings. Underneath, he does have a face that I believe was used for Loki and Bruce Wayne. The helmet is also dual molded, but taking off his little backpack will reveal the rest of his back torso printing, which is very nice. And yeah, this is an excellent figure, and really happy with how this turned out. And because of the pauldron and the backpack, you actually can turn the head, which is not something you can normally do with this helmet. So that's really cool. Really happy with how this figure turned out, and I hope we get the Incinerator, the Flame Trooper with the red markings. I think that would be amazing. For his accessory, this is the Mortar Trooper's little mortar thing, and I do think it's a little weird that he doesn't come with a blaster, because he just kind of looks like he's standing around at a party and he doesn't know anyone there. But it's a pretty cool build. You do have a little clip, so you can kind of adjust it, not really. And then you also have 2 of the antenna pieces. It's a very nice, cute little build, though I do kind of wish they gave him something to hold, like maybe a mortar to load in there. But still, very nice little build. Let me get it so you can actually see it. And we go from 2 excellent figures to 2 terrible figures. This is the Stormtrooper, and this is the new Stormtrooper helmet. And as you can see, it looks really ugly. These look like the Family Guy Stormtroopers that they do in the Star Wars parodies, but arguably worse in my opinion. I don't know why, but they simultaneously smush the face in and have it droop down so you can't even turn the head anymore. You couldn't really turn the head on the old one, but at the same time, you could, if that makes sense, where it did come down a bit, but it was still easy enough to turn the head. It is not possible. It is not happening. And that's a real shame, and it does seem like LEGO's sticking with their guns here. Like they abandoned the terrible Rebel helmet mold that they tried to do, but they're not abandoning this, which is a real shame, because currently there is only one figure that it hasn't looked absolutely ugly on, and it's this guy. But anyways, since LEGO stopped using the angry clone face, Stormtroopers and other troopers that aren't clone troopers now come with unique faces. So I guess by technicality, these Stormtroopers might be exclusive, but you have one of them right there. You can see their face, and then the other one has a female face. Don't believe these faces are new or exclusive, but I couldn't tell you which sets they come in. But yeah, 2 stormtroopers, easily the weakest part of the set, unfortunately. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when this set first got revealed, I thought I was going to buy it just for the Mortar Trooper. And don't get me wrong, the Mortar Trooper is still a huge draw. But this is an excellent build. I was surprised at just how fun and how feature heavy this build is. So I guess we'll start with the stud shooters on the side. So you just push them in and they get lost forever. And then you also have some at the back which you can turn with, have some nice engine detailing. And we have our first little feature, and something to note about this set is that there is a lot of seats. So you could buy a couple of stormtroopers and load them on up. And you can actually, if I zoom in, you can actually see the stormtrooper in there, which is really cool. And to demonstrate, when you turn the top, the entire thing moves, which is a really cool little feature. They didn't have to add it in, but they decided to anyway. I'm just going to take that guy out so we can demonstrate him in more positions in a bit. On each of the sides, you do have these really cool Imperial crates, which are exclusive prints. Nothing inside either one, but it's really cool to get these. They're very nice pieces, and those just fit on in there and close back up, and you do get 2 of them in this set, which is very nice. You also have these guns, which aren't actually connected to anything, but I've shook this set around a lot, and these don't move out of the way, which is really interesting, and I'm curious how they managed to get that to work. But on the inside, you do have 2 more seats. So that's 3 so far, so we can put in our 2 figures. There's a little, let me just get her, I don't know which one this is, but they're not wanting to go in. So there, we finally got that one in. Then I'll put the other one in facing the other direction. And that is something a little bit difficult, is trying to get them in. But at the same time, this is my first time doing it, and I'm not a small child, so I'm sure a child would have an easier time getting it in. But, yep, they're in there. There's a little red panel inside there. Don't know if you can see it, but it is there. So I'll just snap those guys out so we can put them in other places. Then you have a little bit up here where you can have, say, Grief Karga stand out and shoot at the Imperial troopers. This reminds me of the Knights of Ren cockpits in that transport ship, Night Buzzard. It's a similar build as well, and a similar function with the clips and these corner pieces. Then on the side here, you can lift up the door on both sides, fit another figure in there if you wanted to, so that brings the total amount of places to put figures inside to 5. Then finally at the front you do have a little control panel up there. You can place another figure inside, and just like in the back, you can see this figure through the build, which is a really nice touch, and it's very accurate. And so that brings the final amount of seats and places to put minifigures on this vehicle to 6. 1 here, 2 here, 1 up here, 1 here, and 1 here. And this is only a $40 set, which is really cool. Again, maybe would have been nice if they included all the correct amount of troopers to put inside of the vehicle, but at the same time, that would have raised the price a lot. So I'm really impressed with how much space and troops you can put inside this, because this is a troop transport. That is the point of this vehicle. So I'm very impressed with what LEGO was able to do. And for $40, this is a very nice build. It's very well sized. Gets a good piece count. Yes, I'm very impressed with this set. A lot more than I thought I was going to be. But anyways, let's take a look at the box and then the instructions. The box here is a bit of a longer box design. And interestingly enough, the side box art kind of clips around onto the front. Don't know if that's an error just on my box or if that's how all of these boxes are. But you can see on the back all of the many play features that you can do, and it even shows them here. I don't know why they couldn't include a stud or something, because what's he loading into that? But yeah, that's it for the box. For the instructions at the end, there's an ad for the Skywalker Saga, which I believe will have come out by the time you're seeing this, as well as a minifigure checklist for the 2021 Star Wars wave. Owned the Bad Batch shuttle, did a review on that. Own the Armorer's Mandalorian Forge, did a review on that. Own the Mandalorian Starfighter, and did a review on that. I want to get the duel on Mandalore, and then the Light Cruiser and the Slave one, I don't care about them. And I also own and did a review on Trouble on Tatooine, and the buildable Grogu. So that's it for the instructions. So, this is a set that really surprised me. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. This was a set that I thought had a cool enough build, but I was definitely buying mostly for that amazing Mortar Trooper. And don't get me wrong, the Mortar Trooper and the Grief Karga are still incredible figures, but I was blown away by how good the build is. It's big, it's beefy, but it's also not too overbearing, and it doesn't feel oversized, and there's a nice amount of seats and places to put troopers, and they do include a nice amount of troopers where you can fill out half of the troop transport, which is nice. This isn't like the 2013 ATTE, which include one clone trooper. And the build itself might not be the most visually appealing, but for play and to add to a battle scene, I think that this set is second to none of what's available right now. A couple of small little nitpicks, like I kind of wish the Mortar Trooper had some accessory to load into the mortar, and I kind of wish Grief Karga had a second face, but beyond that, there really is no complaints with this set. It is an excellently well-made set, and I highly recommend this if you're a fan of The Mandalorian, or just Imperial vehicles and troopers in general. I give this set an 8.5 out of 10. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you guys later. Peace.